Bro, go ahead, tell people how you talk to people. How you tell my security guy, oh, you homeless, oh, you work for me, oh, you ain't got no, you're poor, and we above you, and how you talk to people like they nothing.
You can shut me up, nobody can silence me. Like, was you silenced or was you silent?
What's up, YouTube? It's KayHon, aka KayHon Puts You On, and today we're talking about the artist's ego. And this is going to be a story about four people, okay? We have Ice Spice versus Cleotrapa, and we have Lil Yachty versus Mitch. And we're going to start with Ice Spice versus Cleopatra. But as always, if you like the content, make sure you hit me with a like and subscribe, support the homie, and comment what you think down below. Anything you think about the video. Doesn't matter what it is, just let me know. But let's get into this. I want to preface this with, I am an artist, okay? I may not seem like it, I may not look like it, okay? This is what I look like. I may not look like no crazy artist behind all this beautiful face, okay? Behind the screen, behind the camera, behind everything. I enjoy making music. I enjoy drawing even though I can't. I enjoy looking at art even though I cannot produce what I'm looking at. I'm an artist, okay? I have an ego about my art. All right, somebody says, hey, this beat sucks. I might just. Somebody says I don't like my song. I'm like really critical of that, okay? So when I'm thinking about an artist's ego, I'm thinking about someone who has so much pride, so much false confidence sometimes. This can be delusions of grandeur, like anything can kind of build your ego, okay? And as an artist, especially when you blow up, which I haven't done, okay? I haven't blown up for my art or anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm just grinding here, I'm just having a good time. But when you blow up from your art, this ego, this artist's ego can get wacky, bro. Because think about it, okay? You have money coming from your art. You have fans, supporters coming from your art. You have venues. You have businesses. You have all these different things of all these different people, organizations supporting you, which basically tells you that you're doing good. That's what everyone thinks success is, right? Like, your music is good. It has to be. Doesn't it? Like, right? It has to be good, right? Because everybody's coming in supporting you. And when you think everything that you do is good, and it's like the best thing ever, then you just love what you do. And I think Billie Eilish and her brother got a thing called like, my shit doesn't stink, or my poop doesn't stink.
We started playing like some music, and I remember Phineas going like, oh, this guy liked the smell of his own farts. And I was like, oh, it's so interesting. Like, yeah, for sure he does. Like, yeah. He really was loving how it was smelling.
And it's basically like Outcast, when they're like, you must think your shit don't stink. Roses really smell like do. You know what I'm saying? But it's basically kind of the thought of nothing I do is bad. I can't be bad. I'm the best thing ever. And we really see this with Ice Spice and Cleopatra and Lil Yachty and Mitch. And let's get into that. If you don't know Ice Spice, she is a New York queen, a New York baddie. Okay, she has been labeled like the princess of rap, all this other stuff. She's been on like kind of Jersey-ish beats, Bronx beats, New York beats. She's crazy, bro. Rap with Pink Panthers, rapped on stage with Taylor Swift. She's very, very successful, but for the last release of her past album, it was kind of iffy. Her album kind of did iffy. So this tour is kind of like bringing in the money, right? Cleotrapa, also a New York artist. Apparently, according to Cleotrapa, Ice Spice was influenced by her, and they kind of came up around the same time, but Ice Spice kind of just shot up. Cleotrapa has remained around an average of like 10,000 Spotify listeners per month, which is really good. You guys often see millions all the time, but if you're averaging 10K per month, you're probably doing a good amount of shows, you're probably making a good amount of music, and you're making money. Okay, if you have 10K followers per month. If I had 10K viewers per month, gang, I'd be chilling, bro. I'd be chilling, like on my YouTube stuff. But yeah, so she has a good amount of people tuning in to her stuff. Now, with Ice Spice and Cleotrapa, this all started from Ice Spice inviting Cleotrapa on tour. Okay? And when you first think about that, you're like, that's a great thing. How can that be ego? That can't be ego. That's a good thing for her. That's amazing for her. There's a few things. Okay? There's a couple things. Alright? So Ice Spice invited Cleotrapa one day before the tour started. So tour started what? August 1st. She got notified July 31st. okay? So that's already a problem off rip. Like, okay, like you thought about me last minute, but all right, maybe some space opened up. You want to see me do good, and they've been friends for a very long time. That's going to be a huge part of this. They've been friends for a very long time. Now, this friendship has been good. They've been on Kai Cenat together. They've done shows together, I think. They've hung out together. They've been in public together, X, Y, and Z. They seem like this, okay? They seem like besties, right? They seem cool. Main issue is, bro, when Cleotrapa gets on tour, it doesn't really seem like things are really figured out. So Ice Spice tells Cleotrapa, hey, I know it's one day before tour starts. You haven't really been on tour. Don't worry, I got you. Because Cleotrapa was a little nervous. She's like, don't worry, I got you.
I had no idea until I got on tour and started seeing certain things. And I'm just like, wait, why don't I have that? I didn't have a room. I was told I was going to be with her, but I didn't have a room. No room for me backstage at all. I was in her dressing room. I didn't have no rider. I was with her. And before I came on tour, I asked her what were the things that I was going to have to pay for, because this is so last minute. Like, you're only giving me one day to prepare. Like, it's July 30 something and we going on tour August 1st. Like, girl, like literally one day. So I'm just like, what do I have to pay for? Nothing. You're going to be with me. You're good. You're going to be with me. So I was like, okay, everything is handled. I'm just going to go. I'm going to make the best out of it.
Moral of the story is she ain't have her. Okay, she ain't have her at all. And so when Cleotrapa gets on tour, there's a whole incident like where Cleotrapa can't bring anybody with her, no plus ones or anything. She's given the task of like carrying her bags and everything, like carrying Cleotrapa's bags, like her own bags. And she thought this was kind of weird because like Ice Spice has this huge security guard, big buff dude, taking all Ice Spice's bags, and when they're leaving the venue, they're walking through fans. So Cleotrapa's like, I got these big bags on me, and there's all these fans. And she asked the security, hey, you brought my bags to the venue. Could you take them to the hotel? Is that cool?
She told me, don't leave your bags at the venue. You might need don't leave your bags at the hotel. You might need something in it. I was like, okay, I'll bring it. Her security, who brings all her bags, she has like 10 bags. He brought my bag, brought the bags down, and now we're at the venue. So I'm like, oh, how can I get the bag? She's like, tell the security to get it for you. I go to the security. I'm like, can you get my bag out the trunk? Because I have no idea where the trunk is, where the car went. We just came into the venue like we artists. We working, whatever. He goes, he gets the bag, brings it upstairs. I change, da-da-da-da. End of the show. I put my bag next to her 10 bags and the big black dresser. I'm thinking everything is going to be moved like back into the truck and we could, leave, go back to the hotel. I turned around. And my bag is still there. All her bags was gone. I'm just like, why would somebody just leave my bag? I asked the security, I'm like, can you take my bag? He said no.
Security guard's like, chill out, bro. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't get paid enough, was basically the sentiment. So Cleotrapa's like, that's really odd. So now she's lugging all this luggage through all these fans. And initially you're going to be like, that's not that bad, KayHon. Like, what are we tripping on? Like, she can carry her bags. I know, I thought the same thing, okay? And I'm going to let Cleotrapa explain some of this, okay? But the main conundrums start happening when Cleotrapa talks to Ice Spice and is like, hey, bro, it was kind of weird that your security didn't take my bags. Ice Spice was like, hey, he doesn't work for you, okay? He's my security, all right? That's my security. And Cleotrapa's like, hey, if I got to pay him more, I will. What does he need? What is the thing? Ice Spice was like, I don't feel comfortable with him leaving me all the time. Cleotrapa was like, hey, I just need help. What do I need to do? Ice Spice says no. So, going past the bags, okay? Because you're like, that's not that bad. Whatever, bro. It's just bags. Ain't nothing bad about it. We start getting into Ice Spice not letting her, I guess she was letting her share the bed for, most of tour and then, stopped when Ice Spice's boyfriend came around. That's cool, whatever. Cleotrapa didn't really like the bed situation. I think that's whatever. She compared a tour bus to a slave ship. Cleotrapa compared a tour bus to a slave ship. I feel like I don't need to expound on that, but that's crazy, bro. Whatever. That's off topic. I just thought I had to put that in there because that was crazy. Multiple things happened where Cleotrapa was really around the hairdresser the most, the makeup artist. Ice Spice kind of just left her at all times randomly. They didn't really hang out. She felt like there was a weird energy. Fast forward a little bit more. Ice Spice, they're in the middle of nowhere. Ice Spice gets food, doesn't tell Cleotrapa. Basically, like, as time goes on, Cleotrapa's realizing Ice Spice really isn't there for her like she said. Because she said in the beginning, it's one day before tour, I got you, don't worry. That's what you would think would happen. But no, unfortunately, Cleotrapa was by herself this whole tour. And Ice Spice just wasn't really there as a friend, as like a coworker, as a peer. Cleotrapa had this level of trust, which like now she no longer does, right? And we're kind of seeing that now. We're really seeing that.
Say everything. I told her everything. I'm going to put it in a screenshot.
So then after tour, Cleotrapa basically goes through this whole fat text message and is like, hey, bro.
Honestly, it felt like it could have been a miscommunication here. She winds up telling me that she told her manager, basically after the Philly situation, she told her manager to tell my manager that I'm going to need to get my own room. What I was confused on is that I told you how I felt in Philly, but you couldn't tell me how you felt in Philly. And that's why we weren't really friends. That's how I realized that we weren't really friends, because you can't even speak up to me.
And then it goes crazy, bro. Ice Spice comes at her. And this is like really where the ego comes in. Is Ice Spice, instead of like being like, hey, I'm so sorry this happened. I see where you're coming from. Let's talk about it. I'm very confused. I didn't mean to treat you that way. She called her careerless and a bum. Careerless and a bum. Okay? Ice Spice called Cleotrapa careerless and a bum. This is where the ego comes in. Okay? Starts talking about having 10K monthly listeners. Things like that. And so then they go back and forth. Obviously, this whole discourse happens. But initially, like, Cleotrapa shows the entire text. It doesn't really seem that bad. Like, she's like, hey, I feel like you treated me poorly. Literally listed her reasons. And normally, like, people wouldn't come back like that. So, Cleotrapa, from the clips that you've seen, are coming from her TikToks, which she made like an 8-part series. It was an hour long. I watched the entire thing. It was absurd. After that, Ice Spice goes on a Twitter, like, I forget what they're called, Twitter space, and basically rants about Cleotrapa.
And you gonna send me an essay with an intro, bodies, and a conclusion, like, and you want me to try to like analyze this shit and figure out how I'm wrong when all I did was share my stage with you when I ain't even have to do that. You got less than 10,000 listeners and I'm sharing my stage with you and you feeling so entitled, like you thinking that my...
Calling her fat, saying the waiter came by and was like, why, how is the food gone so fast? Like, Cleotrapa was eating it up.
You not gonna tell the people how we was at an Italian restaurant and you ate so much fucking food, you fucking vacuum, that the server was like, where did the food go?
Was kind of combating this idea that she wasn't good. Backfires. It's terrible PR, bro. Horrible PR. She doesn't really like actually defend any of the actual points made in the video. She just kind of calls her fat, and that's kind of like the main thing. And that she only has 10K monthly listeners. Like, I was doing something good for you. And that's kind of emphasized here. Like, I was helping you out. And you squabbled this opportunity. I was helping you out. And we kind of see that. Okay, we kind of see that happen in real time. This is the artist ego. This goes past artists a little bit. I think it's a celebrity. I think it can be rich people. It's the idea that my art, my finances gave you an opportunity, gave you something. And if you didn't like every bit of aspect about that, or if you don't directly acknowledge that I made you, then bro, you don't matter. Okay? You're taking everything for granted. Okay? And I can do all these wrong things to you, but because I'm famous, I'm a celebrity, I'm an actor, I'm a TV show host like Ellen or something, I can do whatever I want to you.
20, amid emerging reports of a toxic workplace culture, more and more people started coming forward about their horrible experiences with Ellen. From Mariah Carey being manipulated by Ellen to reveal her pregnancy before she was ready.
It doesn't matter, because I'm rich, I'm famous. I do this art, brings in stuff, okay? It brings in money. I must have value in society, I bring in money. Okay? I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy to me, bro. I think it's so wild to see that happen. And we see this with Ice Spice. It's like, bro, I know you're Ice Spice. You be twerking a little bit. But, bro, you not like that. Like, nobody should ever call someone careerless and a bum no matter the situation, bro, especially like someone who you claim you're trying to help, like, I don't know, if I gave my homie John a place to live for a little bit, I'm not going to throw that in their face and be like, I made you. Without me, you would have been on the street. Like, I'm not going to bring that up. Like, I got friends. I've been on people's couches. People have been on my couch. I would never, ever tell them, like, hey, you would have been homeless without me. Because, no, they wouldn't. My friends are resourceful. I keep people around me who are going to do great things anyway. I expect so much of all my friends. Like, I expect so much of you. Everyone. Like, I expect so much from everyone because I know everybody has so much potential. Like, I feel grateful to even be able to talk to people on a platform and anybody listens, or like be able to, I don't know, have a family to go home to. I would never push someone down like that. And I feel like that really comes from an egotistical place that being a successful artist brings you to. I think like you had that ego there already, but it's just getting fed, bro. It's like a bear in a cave. That hoe was growing, bro, until he grew to be some, like, mythical beast. Or she, or they, or whoever, bro. That bear grew to be crazy. And we see this with Ice Spice. And we're going to see this with Lil Yachty and Mitch. Okay? So that was Ice Spice and Cleotrapa. We see how Ice Spice is tweaking, right? Me and you see that. We see that. Go watch the full videos. I'll probably put links in the description as well. Definitely go check that out because it's very interesting if you like drama, I guess. Getting to the artist's ego. We've seen somebody give one person an opportunity and how that kind of like blew back on Cleotrapa. We saw Ice Spice give her opportunity, blew back instantly. Let's talk about Lil Yachty and his man Mitch gone bad. Give context, Lil Yachty, very famous rapper, very famous artist. Made multiple great projects, albums. I love a lot of his music, so much of his music. He got his fair share of issues, though. He's very out of touch with society. Charleston White, who is like kind of a, he be saying some anti-black things occasionally, okay? He be saying some crazy things occasionally, but he checked Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty was trying to have a conversation with him about like how kids have so much resources. Charleston White was like, hey,
How long you been rich, nigga?
8 years.
You've lost touch with reality. If you think kids have
Wait,
resources,
come out. What? So you don't think with the internet, kids don't have more resources?
you must ain't got no poor nigga cousin. Social media is a facade. You never see somebody on social media say, boy, these my last $2 right here. They go come show you when they got their 500. You never see nobody on social media say, man, here go the disconnect notice, man. I gotta pay these light bill by Friday. I'm 2 months behind. Social media show you the happy side. You look at the real statistics. Homie, nah, kids don't have a lot of resources. When you say more resources like what?
You make resources.
More, but how though? But how? When you look and see most kids aren't creating content, so how do they have resources?
Well, I mean, it just depends on what you want to do in life.
Well, how do you know what you want to do when you don't have a developed brain? You're talking about an undeveloped brain, and you're dealing with trauma and impoverished conditions. Your mama might be on drugs, your uncle might be molested, and your dad in prison. Those numbers are way bigger than what you think. Yeah, you lost touch with reality. Fuck you, bitch ass nigga. Nigga, I don't give a fuck.
And then he says that he's like, you're out of touch. You don't have any poor homies anymore. You don't got no poor cousins no more. You're out of touch. A lot of that is true. And that comes out here. Well, Lil Yachty and his co-producer friend, Mitch Gone Mad, they have a podcast together called the Safe Place Podcast, where they have many different celebrities, personalities. And I actually really like their podcast. I listen to it a lot when I'm at work. Kind of just bored, you know what I'm saying? I need to tune into some stuff. They're very interesting and like entertaining to listen to. Mitch Gone Mad has been a producer for many years, before Lil Yachty even rapped. And produced for Lil Yachty, produced for Kid Laroi, produced for a whole bunch of people, and now he manages Caribou, and I think he manages a couple other people as well. But they get on this podcast with another guest. I forget who they had. I'll put his name up here, though. And basically, Lil Yachty is like, I made you.
I never even suggested you get a job because I knew you wouldn't get a job. So what do you say to a who like, hey, I see a with a shiny watch. I got a gun, a dusty gun. It's going to take a shiny watch. You know what I'm saying? What are you telling? Remove me from this situation. Remove me. I was never in your life. What the f would you have been doing? I feel like you might have been doing that shit. Who knows what you would have been doing if you ain't if you ain't have a to show you right there.
What are you saying, bro?
I'm saying that what you're saying is not. You're not like it's not true. You wouldn't tell a hey man, just go get a job, man.
No, I ain't saying no. That's not what I said. I ain't say I would tell a nigga to go get a job. I ain't say that. I said I would just suggest other things.
Like what?
Like if a had a gun, I would just suggest other things.
Like what? Cooking?
Like, I don't know, brother, put the gun down, bro.
Like juggling? You want to juggle the guns?
Do you know what souffle is? Maybe teach you how to make a souffle.
Bro, I'll put the clip in here. Basically, it was like, I made you. And they're talking again about kind of kids who lack resources, and they'll go get a gun to, like, rob people, and they see so much ease of access in committing crimes, which is a part of that is true. And so they'll do this very dangerous thing that's quick to make the money, and they'll do it fast. And Mitch is saying that, like, he would go up to them and be like, hey, stop, don't do that. There's other ways to make money. I make money a different way. Chill out. Kind of on that, like, old, not even old head, but, like, civilian type of mindset of, like, these kids just need an outlet, and maybe I can show them a different path. Okay? I also believe this is the stance that you should take. May not be realistic for every scenario, but I think it's, like, very important to do that. Lil Yachty basically was like, that's not realistic, bro. You're tweaking. You're out of touch. You're out of touch. And he's like, you have had me this whole time. So you don't know what it's like, because I basically been there for you this entire time. Which that part is like, okay. Alright, but it's like, your definition is these kids can't be helped? Like, what's your argument here? Then he further expounds and is like, without me, you would have been like those kids robbing people. You would have been doing that. And Mitch is like, whoa. And you can kind of see it get serious for a second. He's like, whoa, that's not true. And Lil Yachty's like, yes, it is. And this blew up, bro. This is everywhere. I'm sure that you might have seen it. If not, it was everywhere. Trust me. I was tapped in. Mitch responded to it on Twitter. Lil Yachty had a whole rant. He went off a whole bunch of people.
I dressed all 5 of you, bro. I dressed 5 every time we stepped out the house.
Concrete Boys kind of officially broke, like, pieces of them broke off. With, like, the other rapper Caribou, she saw that clip and said, like, I got out when the time was right or something. Whole bunch of drama from this.
Since the beginning of me giving you this career. What are we talking about, bro? What are you talking about, bro? You don't even do nothing. It's so crazy to me, bro, because I've given you a career. And time to time, you just disrespect me. I wrote every verse you've done.
I think this is another instance where a rapper, an artist, gave someone opportunity and threw it back in their face. It's like, damn. Okay, you helped me out, bro. Thank you. But I'm not, like, a resultant of you. Like, you helped me out. Yeah, cool. Thank you for giving me a place to stay. Maybe I slept on your couch. Maybe you get me some money. I appreciate that. But he started to go on his own. Mitch is a personality within himself. Like, their podcast works not because it's just a Lil Yachty, but because it's Mitch as well. And you kind of see that. And Mitch has also produced forever. He produced for Lil Yachty before. Like, he has his own things that he does. He's not just like a bum, right? Lil Yachty did not care, bro. Like, that to me shows how big your ego is. The fact that you think without you, this person wouldn't have been anything. Would have been on the street being a criminal because they had nowhere else to go. Because you're the little savior. You saved him. I think that is crazy, bro. I think there can be truth within that, though. I think it's like, he could have been like, you kind of come from a privileged place, like, we both got money. I think he could have framed it as, we both got some money, so we're both got out of touch with that. That would have been fine. I think he could have also been like, hey, you kind of haven't ever been that broke before, you wouldn't really know. That's also fine. But to be like, without me, you would have been nothing, shows that your ego is kind of there. Like, you think you made this dude. You think you made Mitch, and you didn't make Mitch. Mitch made himself, you just helped, you supported him. And when you, like, support a person from, like, really, like, the heart, you don't have to throw it in their face. You don't need to, like, be like, without me, you would have been nothing. There's no need. There's no need, and, like, it's not true, right? Because you're not God. You're not Jesus. Like, you're not Ganesh. Like, you're not, like, one of these gods that is, like, all-powerful. You didn't make anybody. You're not his poppy. Like, pause. But you're not this person that can make somebody, bro. Like, making someone is such a powerful statement. It's such a controlling statement. It puts you right over them, bro. Like, you're looking down on them. Like, without me, you would have been nothing. Like, that is crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's just so far-fetched for me to even conceptualize. Like, I would never say that to somebody. But that is the resultant of this artist's ego. That can come out when, like, he did make all this money. And he did help his friends. And Lil Yachty has multiple clips of like him and other groups talking about, I had to put so much money down and they lost me this money and they weren't all for it. And like, he just talked about money as if it's like the only thing in this world. It's very odd to me. It's very, very odd to me. But that to me is the crux of this artist ego. This artist disease, especially when you become popular. I think it's so easy because like you're getting so much acclaim from like things you're making. Like if I made a beat and it got me like $2 million, I'm the best beat maker ever, bro. I'm the best producer alive. Like that's so easy to get to. Like this made me all this money. Money in society brings you value. So you got this triangle right here just feeding itself. Making beats gets you value, which gets you money. Making beats gets you money, which makes you value. And like it's just a gross triangle or circle that you just keep going in. That is just feeding your ego if you don't keep that in check. You don't have people around you to be like, hey, you're tweaking, bro. And that's what a lot of celebrities kind of like get flack for. Drake is a main one who like apparently has a whole bunch of yes men around him. Because whenever his ego gets checked, maybe he kicks them to the curb. Kanye, I don't really want to speak on Kanye specifically because like he's battling mental illness on a day-to-day basis. But we've seen clips of him even like kick people out who like disagree with him, things like that. It's very clear to me that this artist's ego is very apparent. And I think it's very interesting to see. And that's kind of all I want to talk about today in this video of the artist's ego. That was supposed to be dramatic. But thank you guys for watching. For real, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. If you like the content, make sure you give me a like and subscribe and comment what you think. Genuinely, bro. What did you think? How do you feel? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Is there another instance of somebody who had this crazy ego that you want to talk about? Doesn't even have to be an artist, but like celebrity, anything. What do you guys think? As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And check out my other platforms. I got a TikTok. I got a YouTube, which you're on probably. I got a Twitch, which I'm streaming on more regularly, like 3 times per week at least. And yeah, man. A Twitter. We're chilling, bro. We're on everything. KayHon everywhere, bro. Maybe KayHon _Han, but it's KayHon in general everywhere. But as always, thank you y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all and love y'all. Peace out. Be smooth.